Hey everybody. On today's video, I actually would like to talk about what's the point of life? I'm sure we've all gone through phases. I know I have gone through phases of what is the point of any of this? Man, did I struggle sometimes and just what why do we continue to do this? What is this cycling that I'm doing? And I'm just doing the same routine every day and I'm tired of it. I'm exhausted from this process, from this cycle that I keep continuing. So I've had some reflections on that, and I just want to share some today of what that was for me, and some ways that we can start viewing these things. I have three points really that I'd like to get to of ways to get curious about yourself, about your life, and maybe that you can understand what the point of your life is. Because number one, I'd like to start. This isn't one of the points, but I would like to preface with this is that no matter what anybody says, you get to create your life. Your life is your own. No matter how much we're guided or told by others that we should be a certain way or should do certain things, or this is what life means, or this is the purpose of your life, or the meaning of your life, or whatever, you get to choose. And that's a big piece. And in another video coming up, my partner and I would love to talk about victimhood. And if we just go with what others say, oftentimes that can put us in a victim state. But that's for a different day. This today is what's the point of life? Which, to start that off, I feel like oftentimes the point of life gets lumped in with purpose and meaning. Both of those are basically our own construct as well. So most people talking about purpose, I feel, share it in a light that has purpose tied into meaning more than purpose. Because for me, purpose means that it's why I'm here, why I exist. So if this is the reason I exist, then it can't be tied, in my mind, of course, to something that could go away. So purpose cannot, in my mind, be tied to a career, or even to just be tied to I like helping people and that's my purpose in life. I do love helping people, and part of me would think that that's part of the reason I'm here. And then there's another part of me that's it also makes me feel good. So, what is the program running in the background for me that would have me create that as my purpose? And there's nothing wrong with any of this. So, this isn't a make wrong in any way. And this isn't this is the way you should do it, or this is the way you should be, or anything like that. It's it's just hey, let's reflect on some things in life, and let's get curious about our own lives and what does that mean to us. So for me, again, purpose is something that cannot go away. I do feel that people have been pondering this subject, the meaning of life, or what's the point of life, or any of that, for centuries and centuries. There's been philosophers and scientists and all of that, and they all come up with their own conclusions of procreation, and the purpose of life is to follow these set of rules or whatever it is to be a good person and all of that. And that is all just as much a made up construct as anything else. So it's interesting to view some of these perspectives because I feel like some have been brought into society and our structures and schooling and all of that as this is how we have to be in life, and this is how we can create purpose or meaning, which ultimately I have it guides us to a more fulfilling life or happiness, which again, as things come and go, like jobs and other aspects of our life that can come into our life, like relationships. Somebody could come into our life and it's like, oh my God, this is why I'm here, is to be with this person. And then for whatever reason, it doesn't work out. And then we're devastated and we're in a suffering state again, because that purpose or meaning that we had made up and created is now gone. And part of this purpose and meaning is like we create many purposes and meanings through our passions, through our relationships, through goals, careers, and like all the other things of life. They turn into why we exist or what we're meant to be doing. And the truth is, you get to be anything and do anything if you want to. I would add in that if you're going to do anything, there's a guideline of like do no harm to others, um, or anything for that matter, which is challenging in our world of like we harm animals and we harm plants and we harm all the things. So it is challenging to walk that path of do no harm and still maintain any kind of regular life. Um, a funny thought to ponder a little bit is like, what if the point of life is just to be alive? Let's go down that road a little bit. How would that look for you and feel? If the point is just to be alive, then your existence is your point to be here. And your beautiful perspective and how you see the world and share with the world, and like the plants wanting to engage with you, and you're meant to taste things to their fullest degree, so it's like enjoying that delicious piece of fruit or like a piece of chocolate cake, and just like in that savoring moment of like that could be the point of life, is like for you to be here and sample these things truly to the fullest degree. That is a beautiful part of being a human being, is how much we can deeply savor all things. We can savor life in itself. We get to savor like moments with our children or our intimate partners, or just like going out for a meal and all of that. It's like so beautiful to see all the ways that we can like fully savor and express and share these beautiful moments of life. I would love for you to share down in the comments. Like, what do you think about that? What if the point of life is just to be alive? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments, and just please take a moment to share. That would be so beautiful. And we can start this dialogue around these topics, which I believe add a little more meaning or presence or whatever to all of our lives. And we all have our own beautiful perspective. So I'm so welcoming to hear what yours is. Another thing I feel is like, if there is a purpose to life, then that purpose couldn't go away. Like if you were here for one thing and one thing only, then it's not something that could come and go. So in my own personal reflections, what that could be is that there's a part of me that is my truest essence. And in a lot of the texts I've read and some of the people I follow and how they speak, this would be like your higher self, or the part of you that never dies or was never born. And I know that that can sound a bit like, what the hell is he saying? And he must be a little bit wacko. But there's a truth to that. There is a part of us that we can sense. There's an observer that witnesses us in our everyday moments, in our everyday lives. Even when nobody's around, we feel it. We sense this thing. And for me, if I was to say there is a purpose, it's to find that part, to really connect with that part of ourselves, and then walk in this world that we have every day, and to share that part of ourselves. I believe that that's where the love comes from. Like that's the true openness of who we really are in all of this. And it's like it's just like this huge expansion of us being in our hearts. And then we get to share that peace with others and that they can see how we're living our lives and all of that. And then it could spark or plant the seed for them to start discovering in their own worlds. And in all of this sharing that I'm doing and the sharing that you do in your lives, there's a part of us that wants people to take our advice and take our information, and it's like we can see that this could help you. But the truth is that we're only here to share, and they get to choose whether they take that information or not and how they use it in their lives. And there may be moments where they're not ready to hear what we're trying to share, and we may not be ready for what people are trying to share with us either. And it takes time sometimes for that to come to fruition. And the more we live in this authentic self of ourselves, which I would say is our truest purpose, is to be in that truest essence of ourselves. The more we live that, the more others can see it to bring it into their lives. And now, like, to get into some ways that we can start to discover what is the point of our lives, or what do we believe purpose is, or the meaning of our lives is, like, number one, we just need to slow down. We need to slow down enough that we can listen to what our bodies are trying to tell us instead of being wrapped up in the mental game that we often get caught in as human beings. Our mind can be so distracting, all the ideas we have, even when we go to sit to meditate or whatever, to take some time. It's like the mind wants to play in that space, and we have to be with that and just allow it to flow. Just allow the clouds to move through the sky without grabbing onto them, without trying to keep a cloud there to discover more about it. Just let it flow past so that we can just like calm everything down and then hear the subtleness of what the body is speaking and the subtleness of what our environment is speaking as well around us and to us, so that then we can walk in this more true path of our beautiful essence. Number two is to like spend time alone. So slowing down is number one, spending time alone is number two, which they can kind of go hand in hand. Is like, again, slowing down could mean to go meditate or to journal or just to like go walk in nature. And that's also just, if you do those obviously on your own, there can be reflections and things that come out of it that have you discover more of yourself, to bring that beautiful part of you to the world, to share more. Because I believe that part of all of this and these beautiful tools that we have available to us is to allow us all to share our perspective, and then we'll resonate with the right people and they will come, just like you've come here today. It's like there's obviously some sort of vibe that we're on the same level in some way of viewing the world and where we're headed, and discovering in ourselves. So the beauty is that we get to do these reflections and then we get to share them with others, and then of course then they reflect, and then on and on it goes, and we come to a more beautiful and peaceful way of being and a peaceful world and all of the things. And number three, I would say, is to reflect or contemplate, which I just touched on a little bit. So they kind of all go hand in hand. It's like slowing down is first, spend some time alone, and then your reflections. These are three key things that have helped me discover um, parts of myself that I would have never known any other way. There's also other things that come into that add to this, of like being in partnership or relationships that poke at some of our ways of being, and then it's like the mirror for us to see how we are in the world, and how that is being reflected out and back to us. And in these reflections, we get to contemplate or reflect on our beliefs. Why do we believe what we believe? And when we come into any kind of conversation or being with people, if we're bringing in our beliefs and we're standing strong in those beliefs, then there's automatic conflict that happens because we are so strong in that belief or program that anytime anybody else is trying to share something with us, we automatically put up a wall because it pushes against what we believe. And those beliefs, they just inhibit our way of being in the world, and then it divides us. So it creates more separation in the world, which I believe there's enough separation in the world. And the more we identify with ourselves as certain ways of being, the more separation that can be created from this all. Just to like conclude all that, it's like the three things, or the main things, is just slow down, take some time to be alone, and then reflect and contemplate on your life, your ways of beings. Like, what is the point of all this? What is the point of anything, truly? And then come up with your own, like, what is the point of all of this? And in my beautiful discovery, like, I definitely would not be where I am without a lot of suffering that I went through, which I've shared in past videos. It's so magical how all this can come together in such a beautiful way to really open us and expand us and have us feel so deeply. Like, I get to feel more and more moments of this truest essence of myself in my meditations and in everyday life when I'm out and about. It just like washes over me, this blissful nature. And if like I could hope for anything, is that some of these tips and things that I'm giving is that it allows you to reflect and to contemplate and to see, is like we get to expand so fully, we get to experience so fully, and the experience doesn't have to be outside of us. There is so much within us to experience that is so amazing, is that I could have never imagined how deeply I could experience within me. And it's definitely caught me in the sense that I got the bug to just be in that bliss, and to share as much as I can of my process and my journey with you guys. And I would love, if you have any questions or comments or whatever, I'd love that to be in the comments as well. If you're curious about aspects of what we shared today, of purpose, or what's the point of life, please write them down and I'll do my best to answer any questions, and I'll make videos around some of your questions if that's there. And of course, there's other videos that are going to pop up somewhere here that YouTube thinks that you want to watch based on your viewing habits and my creations and how we've interacted. So please give those of you as well. And if you could like, share, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, that'd be greatly appreciated, as I'm very new to all this and just growing this channel. I really appreciate you all. And I have so much love for everyone on this journey. So thank you so much for spending time with me today, and have an amazing rest of your day. And I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you so much.